"Hey, janitor, you missed a spot." One of the younger execs said it with a smirk, nudging the mop bucket as his colleagues chuckled behind him. The man in grey overalls didn't look up. He dipped his mop back into the water, squeezed it out with steady hands, and continued wiping the marble floor in slow, practiced strokes. He didn't flinch. He didn't speak. To them, he wasn't even there. Before we move further into this story, let us know in the comments where you're watching from. We'd love to hear. Let's dive in. The hotel lobby buzzed with nervous energy. The CEO of a massive international tech firm was arriving any minute. Staff lined the room like statues. Suits were pressed, shoes gleamed, every movement rehearsed. Today was about appearances, power, prestige, and right in the middle of all that was the janitor, quietly doing his job as he did every morning. Invisible, until he wasn't. A hush fell over the room as the CEO stepped in. She was tall, poised, wrapped in an impeccably tailored navy coat. Her presence turned heads without a single word. She moved like someone who had no time for nonsense. The translator approached, ready to assist, and the hotel manager extended a hand with a rehearsed smile. But the CEO didn't shake it. She glanced around, surveying the lobby like a general walking into a war room. Her eyes scanned the staff, the polished counters, the chandelier above. Then they stopped. On the janitor, he stood quietly by the front desk, mop in hand, just finishing his corner. And then he did something no one expected. He looked up and spoke. Not in English, not in fragments, but in perfect, fluent, formal Japanese. His voice was calm, deep, steady. He welcomed her, thanked her for traveling so far, said it was an honor to have her in the hotel. The entire room went still. The translator froze, visibly confused. The executives who had been chuckling moments ago now stood stiff. The manager looked like he'd seen a ghost. The CEO didn't blink. She stepped closer. And then, in a quiet but pointed tone, she asked him a question. He answered smoothly, confidently, never breaking eye contact. It wasn't just fluent, it was native, precise, like someone who'd lived it. She asked where he learned to speak like that. He straightened a little, still holding the mop. He explained that he had studied international business and linguistics. Years ago, he'd been a corporate interpreter. In fact, he once worked with her company during a summit. She paused, and then her expression changed. She remembered. She remembered him. The entire lobby seemed to tilt. One of the stunned executives muttered, "Wait, why are you mopping floors then?" The janitor didn't hesitate. He explained plainly that life had taken a few hard turns. His father had gotten sick. He had to leave his job, return home, take care of family. When he tried to re-enter the industry, no one returned his calls. The gaps in his resume grew, so he took what work he could find. No bitterness, no excuses, just the truth. The CEO stood silently for a moment, then said something quietly to her team. She dismissed the translator. From that point forward, she spoke only to the janitor, and that was the moment the power shifted. He began sharing insights about the hotel's culture, how guests talked about the company's brand, what staff really thought about the coming merger. Not gossip, not rumors, data, patterns, emotional intelligence, all observed from years of being unnoticed. Every word was sharp, relevant, valuable. He didn't brag. He didn't sell himself. He simply let the truth speak. By the end of the meeting, it was clear. The most qualified, most culturally competent person in the room wasn't wearing a tie or sitting in a boardroom. He was holding a mop. Within a week, the CEO requested a formal meeting with the hotel's management. The janitor was promoted to Director of Cultural and Language Strategy. He was given a new office, a new uniform, and a new title. But he didn't change. He still arrived early, still walked the same halls. Only now people looked up when he passed. His story spread like wildfire. Not because of pity, but because of power. Here was a man overlooked for years because of his clothes, his job, his silence. And yet he carried more intelligence, discipline, and perspective than anyone around him. He had every right to speak before. He just chose the exact right moment to do it. The same executives who once mocked him now asked for his input. Junior staff began practicing languages in the break room. The culture shifted. respect returned. And when asked why he never told anyone who he really was, he said simply, "No one ever asked." He wasn't just cleaning the floor, he was quietly watching the whole room. And when the time came, one sentence reminded them all who the smartest person in it really was. If this story touched you, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let us know how you feel in the comments.